Hello and welcome back to the June edition of Tuk-Tuk Travels. Now, I mentioned at the end of my last video about the new friends I made from a different agency, the Tits. Well, in the first weekend of June, I went with Tuk-Tuk up to Pecheben, which is a northern province, to meet some more friends for a birthday party. Now, we got there, all the way to Pecheben. It took a long time, I think it took us 5 hours in the car, and Utz is not one to drive slowly. Yeah, I use slowly. It took us a long time, but we got there. And the first thing we do is like, right, let's go out. So we head to, I'm shattered by this time, finished a full day of school, and we go straight to this bar, drink whiskey, in front of an aircon. I'm tired, I'm cold, I'm slightly tipsy. And we go to a temple at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's closed, but the security guard lets us in anyway because we look like decent, respectable people. Or something. And it was spectacular. It's in the middle of nowhere, so you can see the stars. This giant blue statue. And the bells ringing as people walked around. Not another sound, just bells and starlight. And that was really cool. And that was the first, I think as soon as we got back, I collapsed into one of the girls, Rhiannon, she lives in Pecheben. I collapsed into her bed, locking everybody out of the room. So 4 of them slept next door, while I had a double bed to myself. It was good. The following day, we all drove down to Ujjainburi, which is one of the smaller districts in the province of Pecheben, and where some other teachers lived. So I've now met the entire group of tits that are friends, which is really nice, and they all accepted me, which is fun. So we go swimming, and then we head back to the house for a party. So we start drinking, we start playing a few card games, and it starts to rain. And I mean really rain. There's thunder, there's lightning, and the power goes out. There's no aircon, there's no fans, there's no light, just the sound of thunder, rookish, loud, and lots of rain, lots and lots of rain. So we start playing drinking games with phones providing torchlight. And it was good fun. Apparently, my accent becomes posher and posher the drunker I get, which is interesting. You'd have thought it would have been the other way around, and one would kind of slang it out. But no, I get posher and posher. So we're playing this game with some rather naughty words, and everyone's just laughing whenever I say anything, because it just sounds ridiculous in Queen's English. But yeah, it was an enjoyable night. On the following day, we went to the shrine of King Narswan the Great. Now, Narswan was king between 1590 and 1605, and ruled during the Ayutthaya kingdom. He was so called the Great because of his relentless campaigns to free the Chinese from Burmese invasions. And it is reported that in January 1593, he personally slew the Crown Prince of Burma on a one-on-one elephant battle. I mean, how epic does that sound? The king and the Crown Prince fighting on the backs of elephants. Ta ta ta. Apparently so close that the Crown Prince of Burma so almost decapitated the king that they sliced his hat about here, right in half, before the Thai king slashed him down the back, splitting him almost in 2. Nice. So, yeah. We went to the shrine for the king, and it was quite cool. There were lots of cockerels everywhere. I was going to say something else then, I realised it sounded quite dodgy. But there's lots of cockerels, like, I don't actually know not the word purpose, the meaning of cockerel statues, but this shrine was covered in them, everywhere. And they were all really shiny. It was good fun. I like shiny things. After this, Utz and I began the drive home. I was looking at the signboards, and we had time, so I asked if we could take a slight detour and go to some more Khmer ruins in Sitep, which is the very southernmost district in Benjamin. So we head in, and it's quite nice. Because it was a Sunday, it was free to get into, which I did not know until then. Apparently, all things are free on a Sunday, like all historical and cultural things in Thailand. I did not know this. Would have been useful to find out earlier, but I'm glad I know now. Okay, so we go in, and it's a nice temple, Khmer ruins like the rest of them, built originally in the 6th to 7th century, but greatly expanded in the 11th century. It was then, so they think, completely deserted due to some outbreak of disease, only to begin to be refounded again in the 13th century, where they tried to rebuild it, but this kind of failed, and they left it alone. This one has been rebuilt since, but it's in pretty good condition. There are some wonderful carvings that have been protected over the centuries, and the lintels are in really good nick. So it's nice to look at that. And we came really close to this really poisonous snake. We didn't know it was poisonous. We thought it was a grass snake, but it wasn't. Yeah, it was fun. So that got dark really quickly. I apologise. Yeah, so that was that weekend, and it was the first time I'd really met everyone in the TITS group, which was nice. Now, the following weekend, I was invited to Bangkok with them all to go to a guy named Scott's party. Now, I hadn't met Scott, but he was a Thai guy who helped in their course when they first arrived. So I was like, yeah, that should be pretty fun. So we head down, and I do my usual touristy bit, showing people around the Golden Mount, Loha Prasad, and then we all went rowing in Lumpini Park. But the main event of the weekend was the evening party, shall I say. We started off at the Sky Bar, level 1, and we had some very expensive drinks. Now, I was very fortunate actually. I ordered a cocktail. It was about 650 baht, which is £13. So they came with a bill, and I gave them 1,000 baht. And when it came back, I had 650 baht in change. I was like, no, there's a mistake. And she goes, oh, no, change. And I was like, okay. I won't complain twice. So I got a cheap drink at a really expensive bar, which is nice. I mean, still, 350 baht is more than you'll pay anywhere else in Thailand. But it's a lovely place up there. The views are fantastic. And it was nice to meet everyone. Again, had a chat, looking over the world. From here, we went into Ceylon, and we went to the Stranger Bar, which is Scott's favourite place. Had a few drinks there, and some ladyboy comes in like tight leather and starts gyrating on everyone. Oh yeah, that was fun. Before finishing the evening at Telephone, which is the karaoke bar I actually quite like. And yeah, nobody can sing, so that was fine. But it was really the most enjoyable day. I don't usually get to go out. That about covers my social life in June. But there's also some interesting things going on at school. On the 20th, our school celebrated Teachers' Day. Now, this basically meant the oldest teachers, they're the ones you respect the most, and myself, because I'm the Fang, and yeah, just because I'm the Fang basically. We all got to sit up in the hall, and the children spent the entire day, the week before essentially, making these beautiful flower and grass egg-shaped gift things. I don't know the word, as you probably guessed, but they spent ages making these, and it's a seriously respected event. I mean, teachers in Thailand, a teacher is one of the most well-respected jobs you can have, along with doctor and things like that. They're highly respected people in the community, and Teachers' Day is there to the students to show their respect to the teachers. So we all sat down, and group by group, grade by grade, the students came up and they'd kneel before you, and they'd give you these flowers. And the nice thing was, they didn't do it because they were told to. You looked at them, and some of them were crying, and they were beaming. They did it because they actually respect you. I mean, you wouldn't get this in an English school. I mean, the kids like their teachers, respect them, but to the level it is in Thailand, there's just no comparison. The students here, they really do look up to the teachers. So it's really lovely to be involved in that. And a few of the kids had to cry afterwards. You go around and go, it's okay. But it was a really, really lovely day. The final thing of note in June happened a week later on the 26th. Now, I don't actually know what it was for or why it happened. I was just told in the afternoon I had no lessons, so I should go down to the canteen and watch what was going on. So I was like, okay, yeah, okay. So I went down, and the kids are all in costumes. And the grade 6, to begin with, they put on a little show about something, lots of fighting and a marriage of some sort. I still don't know what's going on. But then, essentially everyone else did a little talent competition. And there were kids doing comedy in Thai I didn't understand. There were kids doing stories in Thai I didn't understand. There were kids dancing, I mean, I can understand that. And there were kids singing, and they were all dressed up in wonderfully elaborate costumes. No idea what was going on, just sitting there smiling, taking photos, going, yeah, yeah, yeah. And at the end, I had to choose the best. I was like, what? This is the competition? Oh, okay. And so, they're all looking at me. And I mean, I'd enjoyed it, and I'd enjoyed watching it, but it's not to the point where I paid attention to exactly what everyone was doing. So, and I'm not proud to say this, to choose the top 3, I looked at the students and I was like, I know your name, I know your name, I know your name. None of you were terrible, I remember that. Top 3, yay! So they got a little, I think it was a pencil case. That's really bad, I shouldn't admit it really, should I? I chose them because I knew their names. I couldn't really go, that one over there, yeah, they did it was good, I remember. Because really I didn't. It was good to watch, but I didn't know I was judging anything. So it's like, Peter was good. Peter, and bang was good. Bang. It's like, yes, I know these kids' names, therefore I shall mention them. But yeah, possibly not the best way to do it. But it seemed to work, and they agreed with my analysis anyway. So I'm like, yeah, good. I was like, cool, yeah. So that about sums up June. My next video will be obviously July, but only half of July, because in the second half it was half term, and my friend AJ and I went to Laos, which will be awfully exciting to hear about, I am sure. So until then, goodbye.